Irontrader, and this is the last call of the day. So first of all, we're going to take a look here at the indexes, the Dow, S&P, and NASDAQ. Then we'll take a look here at crude oil, WTI, and Brent. We'll take a look at natural gas. Then we'll start looking at some stocks here, which are on the move here today. PLTR, Meta, Microsoft, and Netflix. At the end of the video, the support and resistance levels are posted for crude and natural gas. This video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy any stock by TDF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Okay, here we have the indexes. Okay, we have the old Dow, the S&P, and the old NASDAQ. Okay, so here we are. All right, now you can see here how we have this sideways consolidation. So upside here, what we want to do is we want to get above this 53,960. That is your 8-day. I'm going to bigger up a little bit there for you, okay? So this is very, very key. 53,960. If we can, we'll go right to the top of this level right here. You're looking at 54,222, and we'll come up here at 54,502, and then 54,744. But you can see that topping tail here. Now we have consolidation. No big deal. Okay, what we're looking for on the downside. So today we hit this low of 53,622. We're looking for right here, 53,641 level right there. This is what we're looking for here. See how nice that is? Okay, right there. Now that's your gap. And then we're going to be looking right at the top of this candle, 53,230. That is going to be your fill. Then we have your 21-day here, your 50-day, and then we have your retest, 100-day, and then we have your 200 SMA here. But right now, this is still looking very, very good. You're only at 60. This here is still looking good. We still have a very good uptrending situation as long as this 50-day is holding. Now, we look at the S&P. The S&P, look at how she's breaking out here again. Okay, nice. So this was that consolidation like we had here, but now we're above that 8-day. Now, the key is we have to close above this level right here, 77.93. We got as high as 78.16, but right here, 77.93. Now, they have a lot of predictions out here of roughly 8,000, which is very feasible and thing, but we have to close above the 77.93 in order to start making that run. But again, it's not going to go directly there. You go, 78.50, 79, 79.50, and then get up to that 8,000 there mark. Okay, so really no big deal. On the downside, this is what you're watching is 77.44. That is your 8-day. We come down to the bottom here. We're looking at 76.98, and we want to look at this gap right here, 75.04. We want to look at the fill, 76.10, and then right here is 75.66. Then we have your 50-day, your retest, 100-day, and then we have your 200-day all the way down here, okay? So right now, this chart is actually looking also very, very nice because you're only at 67. You got plenty of room to run, and the MACD is looking very, very good. Now, finally, NASDAQ getting some love here. Look at this nonsense, okay? So right here, we've been watching this 26,739. Look how many times that we've hit it, how many days, and we're finally cracking through. Now, easy way to trade this is how I trade this is with TQQQs. Okay, it's a really easy way to trade. It's a nice, good basket of all the good stuff. Okay, and it's a really easy way to trade it with TQQs. I'm long because you'll see we have this consolidation. We're holding this 8-day. That tells me to get back in it. Okay, now today we made this high of 26,875 level. So what we're looking for right here is right there at 26,788 level. Here's your next level. It's going to be target 26,923. And it will come up here at 27,130. And then there's your big retest, 27,190. If we crack above that, you head toward that 28,000 mark very, very easily. Okay. Now, we have plenty of room to run here, plenty of room to run here. And now on the downside, what you're watching is right here. We're going to be watching that 26,554 level. That is your 8-day. We start losing that. We'll come right down to the gap here. Okay, 26,088. We have your fill sitting there, 25,967. And then we have your 50-day. Okay, we have your 20-day in yellow. We have your 100-day, we have your retest, and then we have your 200-day all the way down here. But right now, this looks like it wants to break out and go higher. Now, a lot of times if you look at seasonality charts, I got to put them up here for you, maybe tomorrow if I get a chance. What you really want to look at here is you're going to have a run. Usually here, they always talk about August, but really August and all the way through September. But you got to really watch that. Really about the third week of September and October area, that is very, very tough, very, very difficult situation. Okay, so really what you want to do is make sure that you have plenty of cash for buying opportunities, because I think we're going to get yourself a nice, good 10% correction here. Not now, but probably about another good month from now, maybe 5 weeks. I think we're going to get yourself a nice, good correction. Okay, let's take a look here now at crude oil. Okay, here we have the old crude ski. Okay, we have WTI and we have Brent daily charts. All right, so we can see here how we have the sell on right now. Crude oil is down $2.35, about 3%. Okay, so what we got here, we got nothing solved, but you have a high, and lower high. So if you put a channel right down there, you put a channel right here, we still have a declining situation going on here. Okay, so But you can see where it came right down to the 50-day very, very nicely. So this is your key support level right there, 79.83. Next level, 79.32. Okay, then we come to the top of this candle. You're looking at 78.77. We look to the bottom there, 77.79, and then 76.67, your 200-day, and then your retest there at 74.24. See, very, very easy, very simple. Okay, so nothing really big moves going on here. Okay, so on the upside, we have 83.30. Your next level here is going to be right top of there at 84.61. And then we just march it right on up here, 85.57. Then we have 85.94. And then we come up here at 86.87 and then 88.64 and then 93.50 is your big target. Now, this is all based on news and tweets and all this kind of stuff. That's our whole situation. Now, remember, I know a lot of traders that I talk to, and these are big timers on with hedge funds, and they're just not interested in buying it way up here. They just think eventually T-Man's going to get this solved and oil's going to come right on down. Plus, you got to figure you only got a couple more weeks here. You're going to have Labor Day. After that, that summer, that seasonal driving is gone, and then crude oil prices will come on down, kind of a situation. So always take that in consideration. Okay, so right now here, what you're really watching is that 21 there on the upside, 82.32, and we're watching this 50-day there on the downside. We lose it, you got your 8-day, 200-day, and retest. Okay, we crack above that. Key 21-day, here's your big target, 88.64. This is sideways action, not overbought, oversold, same way with here. Okay, Brent, pretty much the same old thing here, okay? So we're not down here to the lower levels that much like we out here on the WTI. But right here, this is your key support level, 84.49 at your 8-day, and then 84.11. That is going to be your 50-day. And then we'll come right down here at 83.34, and then we have 81.37, and then 78.13. That's your big retest. Okay, upside, well, we got the 21-day sitting right here, 87.74. We get above that, we go to today's high, 89.02, and then we look right up out of here where we're looking at 90.07, but really we're looking right here at this 90.24. Okay, that's going to be very, very critical on a closing basis. You got to get above that. Then we can attack this 93.42. Then we come to the bottom there at 95.14. There's a gap fill. Then we can head for the 102. So right now, what you're really watching is right here. You're trading that 21-day on the upside and this 8 right here and that 50-day on the downside. This is what we're trading. We're trading this range. Same way WTI, we're trading this range. If it cracks down, we can go down 200-day. We can come down here. Okay, so all I'm doing is just looking for scalps, okay? And that's really all I'm doing. Now, UCO is a really good scalp today. It's got as low during regular time, 39.74, and as high as 41.65, okay? So that's some really, really decent trading. Same way with here, I trade the BNO, just for on the long side here. If we start losing all these simple moving averages, especially like that 200-day, or we lose the 74.24, then definitely we'll take a short. We'll take it all the way down to there and possibly all the way down to the level at 67.04. Same way here, we start losing at 81.37. 78 is going to be your target, and we could possibly go all the way down to the bottom here at 75.31. Okay, so that's when I take a short. But right now, for me, it's just a scalp long. All right, let's take a look here now at natural gas. Okay, here we have natural gas, your daily and your weekly. Now, weekly here, this is all the same kind of situation. Okay, so you look at that, you got 2.92. That's your 8-day. Okay, and then we look at your 8-day and your 21-day, 292. Above that, you got 310, you got 336. Nothing has changed here. This is pretty much the same old thing. So what you do is we look at this daily chart, and we're looking at that 21-day. Okay, and look at this. Okay, we went into it, pulled back. Above it, closed below. Above it, closed right on it, and look at today, one big ass red candle and wiped out those two candles. Okay, but you can see how we're holding that 8-day. So on the downside, this is your support, 271. Then we'll come down here, 270. We have 269. Okay, we're venture down here, 263, and then 261. Okay, now without any kind of a catalyst like a hurricane or something like that. Okay, hurricanes are good for trading, terrible for people. Okay, now we have some tropical storms, but there's nothing here that's developing into a hurricane situation. So that's why, natural gas here is pretty quiet. So basically what you have to do is really just wait to see if there's some kind of catalyst going into the winter time. So bottom line, this is just a trade. And I took nothing in here today because I'm not really trading this on the short side until we can maybe lose that 8-day. Then we can take it down to that 261 area. Okay. Now on the upside, we're looking at yesterday's low, 274. And then right here, this 8-day at 278. Now, what did we get yesterday? 283. Why did it stop there? All you got to do is look at the gap. What do you got? 283. Okay, simple. Next level up there, you look at the gap fill, 285. Okay, then we can do is we come down here to the bottom, 290, and then we have this 292 area, which is all jammed up at the 21-day, the 8-day, and the 100-day. We get above that, we can go to your 3 mark, okay, and then we can go to your 310, then 336. But right now, we're still downtrending situation, high, and lower high. Can't get off the old schneid. You got to get above this 21-day in order to go higher, okay? We lose that 8-day, we're going lower. Just that simple, okay? So 42, this is not overbought or oversold. The green is still over your red. This here is just sideways action. It's not really telling you anything, okay? So bottom line, I thought maybe we could have a little bit of juice there yesterday, and it was a good trade in UNG. But, today there just was nothing here. Maybe on the short side if you want to, but there's other opportunities out there a little bit better than what that is. Okay, let's take a look here now at some stocks. PLTR. Okay, now PLTR had really, really good numbers. Now, I want you to look at this RSI here because you can see here how we're overbought. But that doesn't mean it can't stay overbought because look at this. Look at on a weekly here, we can stay overbought. No sweat. This here is still running up here. This is at the bottom, and this is still moving up here very nice. Now, look at here, okay? So this is the key. It's right there closing at 179.60. You can see where that's popped up. Now we have to retest it. We start getting above that. All we do is bring this right across here, and what do you got? Your next level, 182.43. Bring this right across here, your next level, 187.28. Come up here at 196.35, and then retest at 198. Now you crack above that 198.88, then right here, 207.52. Very, very easy, very simple. Look at that nice big green ass candle. We had this downtrending situation, and one candle, boom, popped it right on up here, and just looks like it wants to go higher. So all I do is just go right to the left of the chart here, and these are all your targets on the upside. And these, when you see the big target, 198, 207.52. Now you crack this, you're going to go to that 225, work your way to 250. This had really, really good numbers. Now on the downside here, always got to look at that downside because you never know here. Now, this is what we're watching here is that 168. 53 level, okay? Then next level is going to be right up here, 166.08. Then we can just venture right on down to the bottom here, 159.96. And then we have this fill here at 158. And then we can start coming all the way down here to this 50 SMA here, okay? 155 level, 152 level, 142. And then bottom line, if this does sell off down the road, what you'll want to watch is this gap right here, okay? So 143.28, there's your gap. And look where this fill is at 126.97. So you have a gap and a fill. Now, we do have a lot of support here, 200-day, 21-day, 100-day, and 50-day. We have a lot going on right here also. But if this does get hammered, this could be a very, very good possibility. It can come right to the gap. Okay, it doesn't have to go necessarily to fill, but eventually it will fill that gap kind of a situation. So always pay attention to those gaps and those fills. Okay, let's take a look here now at Meta. Okay, Meta, you can see here very, very strong. Okay, so we popped right on up here, couldn't really get through. Now where we are, we're pinned right here at that 8-day. Okay, so this is your key. You got to get above this 590.33. You do, your next level, 597. Okay, that's your 50-day. Then your next level, 600. That is your 21-day. And then we have this 608. That's going to be key. Now we get above that, then we have this 628. Very, very nice. And then when we come up here, what do we got? You got right there at 638. Okay, and then we have right there at 642. Those are your upside targets. Now, if we can break through all of that nonsense, right here is the gap. Right here, okay, 655.88. We looked at the bottom there. There's the fill at 660. Then we can venture here, 677. And then we have your big retest up there, 686. And then we come all the way up here to 796. Okay, so a lot of room here to run. Now, when you look at a weekly chart, you can see where you had that double top situation and then sold down. But now we have a high, lower high, lower high, lower high, and we're still on that downtrending situation. And we look at all these simple moving average, we're jammed up right here. Okay, so you got to clear on a weekly basis that 598. You got to clear that 604 level. Okay, that's going to key. But you have all this 8-day, the 50-day. Once you get through all of this, then we have a nice good, especially like this 21-day. Take the highest one at, say, 604. This one here is 608. Once you get above that, we got a nice, good, clear shot right there to that 200 SMA here. Okay? Now, there is a gap up here because here we look at the top of this candle here. What do you got? 612. What do we have here? We have 614. Now, here's your gap up here at 614, and then we look right here at the fill at 624, okay? But a lot of times when you get above all that, it'll blast through that, fill that gap, and right here to that 200-day, right here to that 100-day, and then right to that 50 SMA. Now, when we look here at this chart, this is still looking very, very good. This is sideways action. This is way on the bottom. This is still looking really good. Now, on the downside, we want to watch yesterday's low. That's going to be key because today we just had an inside day. So we had a big sell-off yesterday. So 578.21. Okay, that's going to be very, very key. Now, if we start losing all that level there, well, then we can come right down to the bottom there. You're looking at 559 level. We have a 540 level, and you can retest this 524, even this 520, very, very easy. But look at this nice right here, double bottom situation. Okay, what do we hit? Okay, 520.26, and then we retested it with 524.49. Okay, so really nice, good double bottom situation. That's your buying opportunity. Now we're just sitting up here, but again, this meta, it's got its act together. Okay, so just always remember, always look for anything that gives you advantage. Oh, I see a double bottom there. Look how nice these price channels look. Oh, there's a nice double bottom. I'm going to get myself into this. So for me, this is a daily trade because look at the movement on this. Very, very nice. Okay, let's take a look here now at Microsoft. Okay, now there's a lot of traders, big boys, traders jumping into the old Microsoft, okay? But this had a really, really good run up, and we're sitting here at way, way overbought kind of a condition. So always pay attention to that, okay? That's very, very critical to pay attention to. Now, on the upside here, you can see we made a little bit above it, but we're 497.32 is what we got to clear. Then we got to come up here to the top of that candle, 501 area. And then we have here at 505 and then 513. Now, once we start breaking above that, well, you're pretty much blue sky till you get this 555 level retest. And it could go up there very, very easy. Now, on the downside here, we want to watch this gap right here. Okay, see, 475, there's your gap. And then we look for the fill at 466. Now, we start going below that right here, 443. That's going to be very, very key because it lines up very, very nice here at the 445 and your 442 level. Then we can come down to your 432. Now, remember, if this does say this gets hammered, okay, eventually all these do get hammered. We're going to come right to the bottom here, 432.44. There's your gap, okay? And then right here at 401 is your fill. Okay, now, yeah, we have a lot of support. 21-day, 200-day, 50-day, 100-day. lot of good support here, no question about it. But I just think here about just watch about 4 or 5 weeks from now, we could have a nice, good 10% correction. And then this would be the buying opportunity here because I don't know if you really want to buy this all the way up here unless we close above 555. Then you got blue sky, and then we're going to take it up to that 600 mark. Okay, let's take a look here now at real laggard, Netflix. Okay, now Netflix is basically out of favor, okay? Now, I don't think it is. Now, they had their numbers here a little while ago, and they kind of whiffed on it kind of situation, okay? Now, bottom line, you can see where the earnings came in and fell right on down. A lot of the earnings before that came down, fell right down. But they were involved in trying to buy that studio, that Warner Brothers. That was so stupid. But anyway, to get out of the deal, it cost them $2 billion, okay? And that's really what they're talking about, and they kind of whiffed on the earnings. However, to me, that was a buying opportunity. Simple reason is you got the WWE. A lot of people like watching that. You got the football coming here. A lot of people love watching that. I know I do. Okay, so you got a lot of good stuff here that's coming here going forward on this whole situation. So that's the thing. I'm long. Okay, I'm in here at 65. Okay, and I say we're holding this 8-day. Yesterday it came right on down. You can see here where we came right on down here, but we closed right above, right at that 8-day situation. Look how nice this 8-day is holding. That's the key. Does it come down below it? Doesn't make any difference. Where does it close? That's the key. Okay, so on downside, this is what you're watching, 74.89. It's your 50-day. Then we're watching right here, 74.80. And then we're watching this 72.39. That's your 21-day. Then we have your 200 SMA here. Then obviously your retest at 65.08. Now, you can see the nice uptrending situation that's going on here. And look at this. This is really, really good. And look at positive divergence. Look at this. Low, lower low. Low, higher low. See, positive divergence. Same thing here. Low, higher low. Low, lower low. Nice positive divergence there. Positive divergence here. And this is looking right here, positive divergence. This is what gets me into it. And also what I like about it is that 8-day cross the 21-day. Now you're looking across that 50-day. This is going to provide very, very nice support. So bottom line, here's your upside target. It's going to be right here. You're going to be looking at here neck at 78.44. That's going to be your next upside target. Now, if we can get above that, then we're going to be looking right here for this 83.48. And we're going to be looking right here for that 83.82. Those are your two key levels. Now, we can crack above that. You got 89 here, okay? And we have 93 there. And then what we have here, you got 97. Okay, so you got a lot of really nice upside target. But notice the room that we have from here to there. Okay, see? Look at that room that we have. Then we get above that, we have a lot of nice room all the way up here to that 89. Okay, and the 93. So you got some breathing room long as we keep holding these key level 73.40 by Friday, 71.75 by Friday. But right now, this is a nice stock. I am long this stock here. I'm not trading it because I just think as long as we're holding this uptrend, we're in good shape. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for on this whole situation. So this is looking very good. Matter of fact, I did add a little bit to it on that 50-day. And if we hold this level right here, that 76.90 today, I will probably add some more to it. Okay, so this is looking very, very good. So if you want to do a trade here, say this could be a little bit long term. Now, don't count on this here to go right to 134. Just look at this as more of a longer, more like a swing kind of a trade here than just it is like a day trade situation. Alrighty, that's what I got for you. I'll be back here tomorrow morning, TGIF, and we'll do it all over again. Trade what's in front of you, not what you want.